Hey everyone, welcome from the depths. I'm Menti, and this is episode 57 of the Battleship Brawl Season 5 tournament. This episode we've got the Polaris by Delta Force going up against the Zvinvoshar by M. Serzan. Uh, Before we get started on that though, yesterday's battle was actually the Prince's last fight, so you need to go and vote for it. This battle is also these two ships' last fight, so you'll need to go and vote for them too. All three of these votes should be up before the video goes live, so head on over there and do that now. And otherwise, let's go ahead and get this battle underway. Zvinvoshar getting a volley off with his forward guns. Did blow a pretty good chunk in the side of the Polaris there, but it's already repaired it, pretty much. Ooh, the Polaris is kind of... Oh, well, they hit on the deck, but if that had hit on the side, the Polaris is basically giving the Zvinvoshar a flat broadside right now. I'll let the shells penetrate in real deep if they manage to land properly. But, you know, if you strike the bottom, all you're going to do is like that. Zvinvoshar did get hit by that first barrage from the Polaris. 97.5% health. Well, 0.4. I figured it would turn to 0.5 before I said it, but it didn't. Zvinvoshar is definitely taking some damage there. Getting pretty big holes blown in the deck. But the shells seem to be really eager to land right in the center of the ship here. And I don't see anything critically important in there. There's some repair bots and ammunition manufacturers. Oh, you can see in there's a peek at the engine. But there's not, like, AI or anything that I'm seeing in there, so... Unless the Polaris, you know, breaks the Zvinvoshar in half, landing in there isn't going to do a whole lot, except knock off HP. Which, you know, eventually will be enough. It's just... it's not critical damage. But the Zvinvoshar is having a really hard time doing any real damage to the Polaris. Ooh, that shell got in there nice. Oh, a couple of them. Got pretty well in there. But man, just because of how this Zvinvoshar is constructed, they didn't do that much. They got in there, detonated, and it was just kind of like, whatever. Polaris is still at 97%, while the Zvinvoshar is down to 83.5%. And is really low on materials. It's not going to take a whole lot more. Actually, it's probably damaged enough that its materials are already spent, pretty much. But it is sailing right along. Despite having massive holes blown in it from above, this Zvinvoshar is trucking along and continuing to fight at pretty much full capacity. It's... no. This turret took that hit and is still alive. All 4 barrels. All 4 barrels on that gun, and all 4 barrels on this gun. just all of the ship around the turrets that's getting blown to bits. Oh, and that might be an engine. Yep, I think the engine of the Zvinvoshar. Yeah, it was in here somewhere. It's not anymore, so... Oh, it looks like both of the front turrets were finally disabled. Oh, that shell put an end to that turret, that's for sure. These Zvinvoshars certainly put up a fight, and it weathered that damage pretty well as far as combat capabilities were concerned. Like, it didn't lose a gun until well into the fight. But, oh, you know what? This gun wasn't disabled after all. The Polaris was just out of the firing arc. But how much is this turret how much more is this turret going to take? Well, it looks like it lost 2 barrels now. Oh, and now it's disabled. I think the hull eventually got hammered through, and yep. Explosions got in there and did unpleasant things. Now this rear turret will probably get one more volley off if it can. I don't know if it can still fire. You saw the barrels reload there. They did the reload animation, but they aren't firing. So it looks like the Polaris is going to finish this at 100% HP. Yep. That's the end of the match. So yeah, Polaris can't really hope to score any more points than that. That is the maximum points. Sunk your enemy and at 100% health. Literally cannot do better. But here we go, round 2. It's up to the Zvinvoshar to try and score some points, because he kind of got 0 for round 1. We have yet to see a ship, you know, score a perfect 3 rounds in a row and leave its opponent with 0 points. But I think in this case, while Zvinvoshar's guns seem to be pretty durable, to the at least to the high explosive volleys of the Polaris. I mean, look at that! It just got hit by directly by multiple shells, and all the barrels are still alive and fine. I mean, the barrels got shaved off a bit, but they're working. Though this barrel did get knocked out. Anyway, the point I was getting at is the guns seem pretty resilient and don't die too easily to the Polaris' shells, but they aren't the most powerful of shells to begin with, and there's only 12 of them on 3 turrets, so the Zvinvoshar is a little bit lacking in firepower. Which gives the Polaris a perfect opportunity to be able to do a complete shutout. Polaris is just so durable. It's basically a friggin' brick of reinforced wood. Like the entire ship, except for the bow up here and the stern in the back. It's just solid reinforced wood, pretty much. Which makes it really hard to actually damage. Like, if you can manage to break in, you know, basically like the Prince did, you can pound out some damage, but it's like getting through those first few layers is really difficult, especially with the repairs. Crazy looking at a ship like this from above and seeing holes that go all the way through, top to bottom. As the Zvinvoshar still has its engine's still working and its propellers are spinning intermittently, but it's not having a lot of luck with turning, and its forward guns are out of their firing arcs, and it's kind of just getting hammered on and giving the Polaris time to repair itself up and get another perfect score. Round is going to be another perfect score for the Polaris, because I think this gun is, that gun is, well, especially now, that gun is not functional anymore. And if either of these guns up here are, well, they're out of their firing arcs. Well, it looks like they're aiming now, but yeah, they're non-functional. Oh, and the Zvinvoshar is 2 damaged. So that is the end of round 2. With another perfect score for the Polaris. Uh-oh. You better step it up in round 3. This is your last chance, Zvinvoshar. You perform like you did in the first 2 rounds, you're gonna get shut out. That is not something I expected to see. Like in any match in the tournament. But here we go, round 3 is underway. Lara's taking a little bit of hits to the underside. Some slope blocks blown off for the most part. A couple of beams, but nothing terribly serious. Wow, as the Polaris got pushed under the water there for a moment. Wow, yeah, it's bobbing way down in the water. It's kind of bouncing back up and down really heavily, a lot more than it usually does. I would say that could be a problem if, like, the inner compartments are penetrated, but it really isn't, because the thing's made... It's a brick of reinforced wood. I don't think sinking this thing is really possible. It has too much buoyancy from the reinforced wood. Seems to have stabled out now. It's not bouncing up and down as so much. Oh, it's the recoil of the guns are shoving it down that hard. That's funny. That was actually a pretty good angle for a hit there. That actually kind of... Oh, that's because there was nothing here. It hit right near the stern, so... Okay, those are some pretty good holes getting chunked out of the side of the Polaris there. You know, if the smoke will clear for us to... Oh, well, of course. By the time the smoke cleared, the Polaris was already working on repairing it, so... Oh, well, we've got this one right here. You know, that's a fairly good chunk blown out of it. Now the Zvinvoshar is running away again, and its rear turret seems to have been... Yep, it is disabled. And its forward guns are out of their firing arcs. But they look like they're probably functional. They're just not currently able to aim at the enemy. Why are you turning left? That is going to be the long way. Getting your weapons back in your fire, and you just went dead in the water, didn't you? Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, now this gun is gone. This turret has at best 2 barrels left. Oh, it's aiming. Oh, but it's too late. The 2 barrels that were left have definitely been disabled. So the Zvinvoshar has no functional weapons left, and the Polaris is at 100% HP. It also has no materials left to repair with, so yeah, this fight is over. There's nothing the Zvinvoshar can do. It's just a matter of waiting the next 30 seconds to a minute for the Polaris to kill it. So yeah, that's it. That is a clean sweep by the Polaris, scoring a perfect score in all 3 rounds, so its opponent gets 0. So yeah, like I said before, the Prince, the Polaris, and the Zvinvoshar are retiring. That will be finishing up their group as a whole. So yeah, make sure you head to the Discord to vote for all 3 of them. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the battlefield.